Package dot, that function name and question mark.
Correct. Question mark, right? So like that, I can take help for any function. Along with that, what we have discussed is very basics about variable. What is a variable? So what do you mean by dynamically typed? Anyone? Python variables are dynamically typed. So what do you mean by that?
Ma'am, we don't need to specifically, define that what type of variable it is. Python will recognize it.
Yes. So data type declaration is not a part of our task. The user should not define. It is automatically taken by the interpreter based on the value that you're assigning, right? Also, we discussed about type conversion, one type to another type, and then we discussed loops. We just started. We discussed while loop yesterday, right? What is while loop? Who can answer? While loop.
Which goes continuously.
Yes, continuously. Like what is the condition for while loop? Okay. Yeah, Yogendra, go ahead.
For the given condition, like given number or given interval, it continuously flows from starting to ending whatever we have given.
Basically, while loop is something until unless the condition is false, it will keep executing, right? That is what we discussed. Counter example we have taken, right? And one important point, this is a quick summary of what we have discussed in yesterday's class. We also discussed about indentation. In Python, indentation matters a lot, right? Indentation, otherwise it will throw you error. Okay, so I can see Suraj, you're not able to hear me. I think it is okay for others. Others can hear me. Suraj, can you check your connection again? Can you hear me now, Suraj? I can hear you. I think you are unmuted, so I can hear you. So please check your connection. In the meantime, please mute yourself. Okay, so what we are going to do today is we're going to discuss about two more loops, right? So we have discussed yesterday while loop. Today we are going to discuss about for loop. And then we are going to discuss about if and else loop. So for loop we'll start with, and then we'll discuss about if and else loop. So yeah, Suraj, can you mute yourself? I think he has some audio issue. Okay, so for loop is something which you already know. For loop is a kind of, we can decide how many times we can iterate through the body part, and those many times it will go through the loop, right? So in other languages we know how to write for loop. In Python it is little kind of different. Let me first write a for loop and then I will explain. For I in, let's say, range function I will use. So for loop I am going to use a new function called range function. So what is this range function? Let me give you some example. So range function takes 3 input. How many input it takes? Range function take 3 input. So the first input is called starting index. The range function takes 3 input. The first input you will pass is called starting index. So from where you want to start. For example, I want to start I from 3. So starting index will be, let's say, 3, comma, next index is nothing but your ending index. I want I should go from 3 to 8, so I will write 9. 8 till 8 if I want to take, then I will write 9, because ending index is exclusive. So this is your starting index, this is your ending index, and the last one is your step size. So by default the step size is 1 means continuous. But if you want to change the step size, you can also do that. So if I do not do anything, what will happen is, for the first time I value will be 3, second time I value will be 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, right? Here it will stop. Let's say I don't want continuous I value 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want first value will be 3 and then I equals to not I plus 1. Let's say I equals to I plus 2. 2 to 2 it should increase, right? So first is 3 and then 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 2 7, 7. So till here, like 2 to 2. Then I will write here 2. Right? So what is this 2? The third parameter is the step size. If you are not mentioning the third parameter, it is basically about continuous number. If you want a step size, you can mention 2, 3 means that is the step size. right? So if I'm writing 3, 9, and 2, 3, 5, 7, I value will be. I think range function is clear, right? So range function takes 3 argument. First is your starting index, second is your ending index, and third is your step size. Starting index is inclusive, ending index is exclusive, and then step size is how many time you want to increment or decrement your I value, right? That is what you will use here. So what I will do here, I will write, let's say 0, and then I will write, I want to start I value from 5. So 5, and then I want to take it till 9. So I'll write 10, and then if I run, sorry, I have to write the body part. So then I will write, let's say print I, right? Then if I run, you can see that I value is starting from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is not included. Till 9 it will go. So this is how you can write a for loop for I in. So for any value of I which is present within this range, you do the following things. Now what you want to do is up to you. So this is your body part, right? You can write any logic. Like how you are writing within the for loop, you can write any logic. So in that logic, the I value, how many times this loop will run? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you tell me this loop will run how many times? I'll start with 10 and then I will take it till 100 and with the step size of 10. How many times this loop will run? Who can tell? How many times this particular loop will run?
9
10
times.
times.
9 times, right? Not 10 times, right? It will run 9 times. Yeah. Right, so first value will be 10 and then plus 10. So second value will be 20 and then 30 and then 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It will not go 100. 100 is exclusive. So till 90 it will give us. So this is how you can write for loop. Now question is, if the range, let's say I don't want I value to be continuous. In other languages we write I plus plus, I minus minus, I plus 2, I plus 3, I plus 4. All of these things you can do using range function. And if I don't do anything, here, if I simply add the ending and starting index, it will go for 100, 10 till 99 it will go. It is step size is 1, 1, right? Till 99. You can run this loop 99 minus 10. So that is 89 times it will run. This loop will run 89 times. So this is your normal for loop. Now you can ask me, what if these numbers are not continuous? I don't want this continuous number. Let's say I want first I value. Mostly, let's say you are doing something. Let's say it's a machine learning code where weights you are updating. So each time I is, let's say, weight. So in that case, I you don't want continuous. So in that case, you can write the I values that you want within a list. This is called a list. We will discuss about data structure. Maybe in tomorrow's class, we will start data structure. Tomorrow's class onwards, we'll start data structure. So we'll discuss there. So in data structure, the first thing that we will learn is list, right? List data structure. So what we are going to do is, let's say 90, 56, 78, 32 and all that. So what will happen? So first time when I run this code, I value will be 90. Second time it will be 56. Third time it will be 78. Fourth time it will be 32. And then if I run, I value you can see. This is not continuous. If you want continuous or with step, you can use range. If you want random values of I, you can use list. Within list, you can mention all the I values that you want in each time, right? So based on the length of the list, that many time it will iterate. So this is your for loop. I think most of you already know for loop, but what you understood now is how to write for loop using Python, right? What is the syntax for loop using Python? And one thing to notice, any loop, while loop, for loop function, you have to write a colon and then you have to give your space here. Indentation is mandatory, right? So we discussed while loop yesterday. Now we have discussed for loop. Next, last loop is your if else loop. And I think if else is very common kind of loop. Everybody knows about it. So if else means we are checking condition. If this condition is satisfied, then you enter inside the loop, right? If the condition is not true, if the if condition is not true, next condition we can check elif. Like you must have used else if. Here in Python it is called elif. So you can check multiple condition by adding elif. Finally there will be a else block. If nothing is working, then finally it will enter inside the else block. So let us see this, right? Let's say day equals to, let's say, Monday, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm just writing a if else loop. So if day equals to Tuesday, right? If day equals to Tuesday, then what you can do is print day, print eat samosa. So you are deciding what to eat based on the day. If it is Tuesday, then you will eat samosa. And elif means one more condition you are checking. Elif, right? The day, again you are checking. If the day is your let's say Wednesday, or let's say it is a Thursday, right? Then you will be what you will eat. Let's say you will be eating let's say eat um, eat chicken, sorry, Thursday, na? Eat something, right? Eat, let's say, eat what? Something. Drink tea, right? You every Thursday you drink tea, let's say. And let's finally we are checking one condition called else. When else will execute is if nothing is working, right? If none of the condition is true, then only the else block will execute. So in this case, if you check, so the day is neither Tuesday nor Thursday, right? So obviously if condition here, it will be false. If condition will also be false, and hence else block will be executed. But if any one of this condition is true, else block will not execute. So it is Monday is what it is returning. Why it is returning it is Monday? Because as I said, if and else block will not be, if and elif block will not be true here, right? Now if I write here, if the day instead of Tuesday, if I write the day is Monday, here if I write the day is Monday, right? So what I will get is, I will get drink tea. Why? Because wherever the condition is true, then it will enter inside that block. Rest all block will not be executed. What I mean to tell you is, if here in this case the highlighted part the condition is true, it will not go to else loop. Here only it will end. If the condition is true in the if block itself, in the first block, it will not come to elif and else block. Wherever the condition is true, it will enter and then it will execute, and then it will come out of the loop. I think most of you already know. The only thing that you need to understand is how to write all of these things using Python, right? In Python, remember, we have to write if followed by condition and then colon, and then we have to give some space. Any block we are starting, we need to write some colon and then we need to give some space. Instead of else if, we are writing elif. Right? That's the only difference. Rest all concept is same. Is it clear? For loop and if else. Is it clear? Any doubt? Is it clear? Not clear?
Madam, our question, madam.
Yeah.
సో ఈ బ్యాచ్ మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు నేను విజయవాడ నుంచి జాయిన్ అవుతున్నాను.
I don't know Telugu, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh.
No problem. So if you have anything regarding the registration or something, you can wait. At the end of the class, you can ask. If anything related to the topic, you can ask now. If anything related to the registration or some other query, you can wait. Once the class is finished in next 15 minutes, then you can ask.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, no problem. Is it clear, others? Like if else and while loop is clear? Any doubt? Clear? Please write yes if you are clear and participate. It should be interactive class, right? Not one way speaking only, me only speaking. No, you should also ask your doubts and you should also participate. So Binod, Yogendra, Sunil, is it clear? Others, is it clear?
Yes.
Om Prakash, Abhi, yes. I think these are very basic concepts. I think most of you already will be knowing. Okay. Now we have discussed about loops, while loop, for loop, if else loop. We will discuss about function. Can anyone tell me what is a function and why we use it?
Reusable of code.
Yes. So function basically we use for code reusability, right? Instead of kind of repeating the same thing again and again, same logic, we can write a function whenever we need the logic. We can simply call that function. In Python is very famous because of function only. We have so many packages, means what is within each module. You take any module, let's say sklearn, which is a module. Within sklearn, we have so many functions and packages. So functions are kind of built in, right? Already it has been like the defined, the logic is already defined. You're simply using it. So function has two parts. One is a function definition and one is a function call. So how to define your function? For function definition or defining your function, let us uh, take a simple example, adding two numbers. So how to define function in Python? Def keyword. So def keyword definition followed by the function name. Let's say this is add function, right? Def followed by add, and within bracket I will write all the inputs that the function needs. Let's say the function will need two input. One is your A and one is your B. So and I will write a colon here and then enter. Every time I'm starting a block, I'll write this colon and then I will write some space. I'll give some space. Here what I will do is I will write the logic. Let's say this function will return the sum of these two numbers. This is a very simple function I have defined. What I have done, if you want to check what is the type of add, just to cross verify whether it is a function or not, you can see that this add is a function, right? So what I have done right now is I have defined a function called add, which will take two inputs A and B and it will return A plus B, right? How I have defined it? Def keyword followed by the function name and the two inputs, and it will return the sum of those two inputs. Anything that you want to write, you can write the logic within the body of the function, and you need to always give space, right? So next line, if you want to write, let's say here, you need to give space and then you need to write print A plus B or something. If you write print here, it will, if it is outside a function, you can write. If it is inside, then you can write like this. So this is called function definition, how to call a function. So you know what is function definition, how to call a function. So function calling is very easy. Just you take the name of that function, that is add, and then in bracket you pass the values a comma b. So let's say a, you want to find the sum of two numbers 4 and 6. So you a will be replaced with 4, b will be replaced with 6, and it will return a plus b. So if it is returning, then you need to hold it, right? It is returning the sum, then you need to hold it somewhere. So let's say I am holding it with some variable called result. So result will be storing this result. So if I call this function and if I again see what is present inside my result, this is nothing but the sum of the numbers that I have passed. This is a very simple example. Very complex functions we are going to write in this code, in this kind of course. And also there are some questions that you can practice based on functions. I will give you your first assignment after today's class. You can practice that. So let me
Madam,
repeat.
one question.
Yeah.
So, uh, are there any primitive types like in Java? I don't know Python.
Okay, so basically function is we have two things, functions and methods. There are little difference in it. Basically functions has two types of function. One is a user defined function which you will define, like this is a user defined function, right? What I have defined, add is my function, I have defined the logic and then I have call it. But some functions are built in, like print function. I'm just okay, take this type only. So we have used this type function. Have I ever defined this type function anywhere in this code? Answer is no. But still I can call this function, right? And I can see the result. Who has defined it? It has been defined within Python library. So this is called built-in function. So we have built-in functions, we have user-defined functions. Functions that we will define is called user-defined. Function which is already defined inside Python libraries and we are just calling it is called built-in functions. And we are using all of this NumPy, Pandas, your sklearn, Keras, PyTorch, all of these things are because of built-in functions we can use, right? No need to define many of the complex logic. You need something, you just call the function. It's already defined, you just need to call it. right? That's the advantage. Okay. One more thing I just want to add here, like any other functions. Okay, you can take help for other functions. Like I know, like I told you in the last class, question mark. Now, if somebody wants to take help for your function, how to add doc strings? Doc strings are very helpful. So how to take help? I just told you any function name, and then I'll give you one example, right? Let's say numpy is a module, right? Numpy is a module, which is a kind of package I'm importing. And then what I'm writing is numpy. I'm going to use this function called array. I'm not sure what is this array is doing. I am just writing a question mark and running. So what I can see is I can see help. So this doc string is telling me what is this numpy array is doing. So this array will create, this array function will create an array. This is what this function is doing. So I'm clearly understanding that looking at the doc string, I can know that what this function is doing. Now, can you add doc strings to your functions? If you are defining a function, like add is my function, can I add doc string? Answer is yes. How to add doc string? Always the first line of your function is your doc string. So you can write here. So whatever you want to show, right? This will add two numbers, right? This is my doc string. Now if it, let me run again. Somebody wants to understand my function. So just write add and question mark and then run. So you can see the doc string, right? This is the signature of the function, how the function is defined. And this is the doc string. This will add two numbers, whatever. And always it should be first line. If you write this string in second line or third line, it will not work. So how to add doc string to your function? Write the function in the first line. That is how you can add doc string to your function, right? Any other line, it will not work. Why doc strings are helpful? Because others can take help. If they like write question mark, they can see what this function is doing. Okay, so is it clear? The function is clear?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so for today, the last topic is lambda expression, right? Anybody knows about lambda expression, or is it new? So function, I think most of you will be knowing Python function. So very similar to Python function, we have something called lambda expression. Why it is needed? Many of the time for small function, we don't define and call it like this. We use lambda expression. So this is also a function, but a different way of writing a function. We'll discuss about lambda expression, right? So we understood about function. The next thing that we're trying to understand is called lambda expression. So lambda expression, what is it? It is a function. What is lambda expression? Answer is function. Lambda expression is a function, a different way of writing the same function. Why we are using lambda expression, you will understand once I give you some example. So what we are going to do now, the above example we will take and we will use the lambda expression. So this above example add method, we will use this in a lambda way. What I will do now, so I will write add, sorry, I have to write this add, right? So I will write lambda. So what is lambda? Lambda is a keyword. It is also known as anonymous function because most of the time you no need to define the function and again run, call it. So if the functions are very complex, let's say the logic is very complex, or write a function to find whether a number is palindrome or not. That you cannot write in lambda expression. This is a very complex logic. Write a function to find the inverse of a matrix. So this is a complex logic. 7, 8, 10 lines of code you need to write within the body part of the function when you're defining. But let's say find two add of two numbers, right? Very simple, right? One line code. So if the function body part has one or two lines, simple function, easy functions, that you can write using lambda expression directly instead of defining and calling. Simple functions of 2-3 lines can be written directly using lambda way instead of the traditional way where you have to define and call, define and call. Here you can do two in one line. How you can do that? So lambda is the keyword followed by any variable name. You can write here A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, whatever. Let's say I'm writing A. This is the variable. So what you're going to do, how many input you need? So there are two things. After lambda, you write a colon. Now, before this colon, left hand side, you need to write all the variables that you need. I need two variables, A and B. Right hand side of this colon, you write the logic, what you want to do. I want to do A plus B, and you are done. So this is the small function. So G is the small function, and I can directly call G. Let's say I just pass 7 and 8, and I can see the result. 7 and 8. A will be replaced with 7, B will be replaced with 8, A plus B is 7 plus 8, that is 15, it will return. Let me repeat, what is lambda expression? Lambda expression is, basically it is a function, right? If you are confused with lambda expression, you can also use function instead of lambda. So what you need to do is, you need to first define like this, and then you need to call it. But here what I'm doing is, in lambda expression, you need to define and call separately. In one line only I can define it and then I can call it. So I'm writing lambda followed by the numbers, the variables, and right hand side of it, I'm just returning the logic, whatever logic I want to apply. Is it clear? Lambda expression is clear. Anything you can write. For example, you want to take the sum of these two numbers, and then you are going to divide it by 90, and then you are going to, I mean, what I mean to tell you is, any logic that you want to apply. Let's say you have one more variable called C, right? You want to multiply that with C. So this logic you want to apply, and then you pass. I think this is not possible. Somewhere it is divide by 0 or infinity, something is coming. Okay, no, not that is the issue. 3 arguments it is needing, right? I am passing 2. You can see 1.5. So this is a math complex. So A plus B divided by 90 multiplied by C. This is the formula that I have applied. So anything that you want, you can write here. Is it clear? Lambda expression is clear.
So is this the only way to define function
Yes.
using expressions in Python?
If you're using lambda expression, this is the only way to, we are not defining, right? We are just calling and like basic, not calling, but yes, like in one line we are writing it without giving any name to our function.
Oh, I'm
Like
comparing with JavaScript that I know. So in JavaScript, there are multiple ways to write function expressions, right? Function or arrow function. There are a couple of ways we can
yeah,
define a function object using function expressions. So in Python, this is the only way.
yes, in Python we have to use this lambda keyword always, and then we have to write colon. Prior to that we need to pass the parameters. After that we need to write the logic. This is the only way. You can apply it on data frames, you can apply it on any other, but this is the way you need to write your code. Lambda keyword is must, followed by the parameters. After colon you have to write the logic, what you want to do with those parameters, the body part basically. And if it is very complex, like let's say 10-15 lines, obviously you cannot use lambda expression. Only for simple functions you can use lambda expression. It is helpful actually. I'll show you some example. Now I don't know how much you will understand. Let me show you one real-time example, right? Okay, so you understood lambda expression there. You don't know pandas. We will learn pandas next week. So once you understand lambda expression and pandas, you can combine it together. So for example, I'll give you one example. Okay, let's say, yes. Okay, so you can see here. So I am not sure how much you will understand because you don't know pandas, but let's say this is one column, right? Pandas data frame is like table, right? So let's say this is a table column, and you're applying this function to this column. See, I no need to define it. It's a small function. I'm just splitting from the date, the hour, the month, the week of the day. So 3 functions I have defined in one line. Otherwise, what would I have done is def one function, convert hour to date to hour, date to month, date to week. 3 times I have to write define and then call. So again, I'm not telling you to use lambda always. How you are convenient, you can use either lambda or traditional way. It is okay. Just you need to understand this is how you can write. Later we will use it. Mostly it is very helpful for Spark, big data coding, right? Okay. 2 minutes. Okay, right? So okay, so we will, yeah.
Can you please show that data frame functionality once?
No, data frame will not understand. We'll go there. Pandas next week we'll discuss. So this one, you'll not understand. There's so
Oh,
many doubts. Yeah, you'll not understand this. I just given you a real-time example. So anytime you need any small functions to apply, you can use this. So data frame is pandas. We have not started yet. We'll start it next week. Then you will understand. We'll use that. So what I
mhm.
mean to tell you is, on any function, if you want to apply a function in any of the column, you can use lambda expression if the function is small or easy. But if it is very difficult, then you can use the traditional way. First you define it and then you can apply that function on that particular column. Okay. Okay. So is it clear? So what we have discussed today, let me quickly summarize. We started with loops. We discussed about for loop and then if else, and then we discussed about functions and then docstring and then lambda expression. Tomorrow we'll continue with the data structure, list, tuple, set, dictionary. I think next entire week is on data structure. After list, tuple, set, dictionary, we'll be continuing arrays and data frames. NumPy pandas. Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll continue from tomorrow onwards from here. Okay, and Monday onwards it will be 1 hour class. Make sure your registration is completed before you enroll for Monday's class, because the link is going to change. Once the drive is created, I will be uploading all the assignments. Today I'll give you one assignment on function. After tomorrow's class, for this weekend, you will get 1 or 2 assignments on list. Tomorrow we'll be able to complete list data structure. So you'll be getting 2 or 3 questions on list, right? For data structure, you'll be getting 2-3 coding questions, real-time coding questions. I'll be uploading in the drive. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll connect tomorrow. Any queries anybody has, or we are all good? Yeah, I think you are asking something regarding registration. Now you can ask. Others you can leave. If you have anything, ask. Yeah.
Excuse me, madam. Where can I see this assignment actually? Today's class is
Yes. So once your enrollment is confirmed, you will be added to a drive. And in that drive, I will be uploading everything. I think today only the drive will be created for both part 1 and part 2 course. I'm going to add everything in the Google Drive.
okay. They'll mail, right? Details of the drive.
No, you no need to do anything. Once your enrollment is confirmed, your details are with them. You can share your email ID on which you want all the materials. On that email ID, they will give you access. Once everything is uploaded, you will get an email notification. This has
Right.
been
That's what
uploaded.
I was asking.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Ma'am, which SQL should I learn?
Sorry, which?
Which SQL database should I learn? MongoDB or simple no?
If you're asking no SQL, then yes, MongoDB is trending right now. And it is easy to learn.
Ma'am, do we have to learn Tableau also?
Tableau, if you know, that is good. But we will complete Plotly very detailed way. So with Plotly, you can understand Tableau in an easy way. Tableau, I will give you access. I will please remind me once, right? I will share access for Tableau. People who are interested for data analyst course, they can contact separately. I'll share you access. You can learn Tableau from there.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, in this course, the Docker container is included or not, ma'am?
No,
For
no,
end
no,
to
no,
end.
no. Docker is not included. You can. I think today is the first class, right, Arjun?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you will get the part 1. You
Yeah,
please
yeah,
go
this
through
is
the
my first.
syllabus. Yeah. For all the people for whom today is the first class, this is the excellent course. You're getting everything. Please mute yourself. First strong suggestion is please go through the recording of the demo class. That is the first thing you need to do. Why? Because everything is very well explained there. This is a kind of package for your batch only. We are starting. All the previous batch people, they have not got the Durga sir's Python recordings. Your batch onwards, this is a new year, so we are starting a new package kind of thing. And what you're getting is part 1, part 2. Along with that, in part 1 you're getting Python core, NumPy, Panda, statistics, Plotly, visualization, and machine learning. In part 2 you're getting NLP, Spark, and everything. If your data analyst course you're joining, part 1 is enough. No need to go for part 2. In part 2, if data science is your objective, in part 2 you're getting Spark, deep learning and NLP. Along with that, you're getting everything from Durga sir's Python recording, almost like 30 hours content. Object serialization, everything except Django and Flask, everything in Python you are getting there. File handling, exception handling, regular expression, object serialization for 6-month access you will have. So everything you are getting in this particular kind of package. So more detail, actually I'm running late. I have a very important thing to do at 8:30, so I'm little rush. I'm little hurry, right? So I'm just summarizing. What I will suggest is for people who joined today newly, I could not talk with you in detail today. Maybe in tomorrow we can discuss if you have any queries. In the meantime, please check with Bhavani ma'am or anyone from Institute. Tell them to share the link for demo class. In the demo class, everything I have explained nicely. What is the codes? What all are the topics? If you want immediate kind of very small, like within 2-3 minutes, if you want to understand, this part 1 course is very good for everyone who wants to join for uh, kind of data analyst come data science. It is a path to become a data scientist. What you are going to learn? Python, core Python only. After that, you are going to learn NumPy, Pandas, Plotly, statistics, machine learning. So this is what you're going to learn. Along with that, 5 to 6 projects, assignments, resume preparation tips, recordings of Python class, Tableau, and most of the recordings will be available. That is what in summary I can tell you. Okay, and what we have covered, this course is very fresh. We just started 1 day before. I just told everyone to install Python, Anaconda Python in your system. And then I have shared a video where you can understand about Jupyter Notebook. The ID that we are using is called Jupyter Notebook. The YouTube link I have shared yesterday's class where you can understand more about Jupyter Notebook. Once you have installed and understand about Jupyter Notebook, yesterday we started the class where we discussed about variable, what is what is while loop, very simple things. And today I think you attended the class. Today is the second class. Okay, is it clear for new joiners? I think I am little hurry, but if you have any doubt, please connect one-to-one. You can call to Bhavani ma'am. He will connect with me. She will connect with
Ma'am,
me.
ma'am, from where we can download this video, today's session video?
Today's session video will everything after the registration, everything will be uploaded in the drive. You will get a Google Drive access once your enrollment is confirmed. You will get a Google Drive access where everything, the class recording, the class materials, the assignments, everything will be uploaded in Google Drive. Okay. So if
I have one question. I have registered for both the courses and I was communicated that advanced course is from 6:30 to 7:30 and intermediate one is 7:30 to 8:30. So the timings are right because today I think it was started bit early.
bit early. So no. So the classes will be 6:30 to 7:30. That is part 1, and the part 2 is part 2 is the advance is 6:30 to 7:30, and the intermediate is 7:30 to 8:30. This is a golden opportunity for everyone who want to complete this course within 2 months because we are starting both the batches same time. What happens generally is we start only one batch because of time and other things, right? Syncing problem. Now this time we're starting both the batches same time, so you can enroll, and that is a good thing, right? You can complete at the same time. Both the batches will be finished. 6:30 to 7:30 is advanced. 7:30 to 8:30 is part 1 intermediate. Is it clear? There is no timing change.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually I am working on a project right now. Will this class be restarted, fresh session after a month or so?
Just now we started, so you can expect 2 months from now because 1.5 months we'll start one more batch, but again 10 days will be registration and all things. Full-fledged batch means again after 2 months only in the morning time because I don't have time in the morning. Morning time batches this January 7th, so March first week we'll start again, March 7th or 10th.
Ma'am, in February, will any batch start in evening or night?
Evening one batch will start. Evening batch is already started, so that is going to finish end of this January. February evening batch will start.
Oh,
New
okay,
batch in
okay. Thank
evening.
you.
Yes,
Okay,
no
thank you.
problem.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Okay, thank you everyone. I really have to log out today. I have some very important work. If you have any registration related doubt, you can connect with me, call to institute and tell that you want to talk to me. They will connect with me, right? And you can ask if you have any doubts. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem. Yeah.